Hello, this is Daviddean, and I've had a few people asking me for an account update. I usually do them as I get done with the Storm Shield defenses in each zone, but I had held up for a long time on this account, my latest one, Double D, and because I was waiting for the Candy Valley storyline to come out, and we have gotten that. I have gotten all the way up to Candy Valley Storm Shield Defense number 9, and now I'm waiting for the new RPG to come out from the winter event before doing Candy Valley 10. So I figure I'll go ahead and do an account update, but one thing before I do that, I have to let you know that over here on Reddit a few days ago, Artist by Koner put up this amazing image, and I really loved it, and I talked to her quite a bit and checked out all her other drawings online and artistic work, and I'm going to have her doing my logo. We are working on that now, and also some merchandise, so hopefully we can get out some items for the people who do want to pick those up. And then one person even took it a step further. Daviddean went ahead and made me a mythic lead with a write-up and everything. Of course, then Reddit went and removed the post, but hey, that's Reddit. But I just wanted to do a shout out to those two individuals and thank them so much. But getting back to the account update, and I want to get to the stuff people care about the most first instead of last, like a lot of people do. So I'm starting with weapons. One thing I'm not sure everybody realizes about the pegboard here. What they do for the pegboard is they put up the weapon of the weapon types. They have each of the weapon types here. Whatever is the highest level, and then if there are multiple ones the same level, they will do it alphabetically. Also, some images don't show up, like for the longest time, the Bowler RPG. That was my highest level one, and it would never show up on the board. So I'm just going to mention that because I do not use the Jackolantern in the game. It is cool, it has a cool graphic, but it really is just an average RPG. But I love the image of it, and for the Halloween event, I put it up here and haven't leveled up any other RPG to take its place yet. Just wanted to let you know. But going through the weapons, and also for this account, if you don't know, this is my third account, and I wanted to do it different. Last time, the whole time, I was using the Super Shredder sniper rifle, and I was mainly doing constructors and showing you how to solo all the Storm Shield defenses without shooting a single shot and just having your traps eat them up along with the constructor base. This time I wanted to use some different weapons, and I ended up mainly using Outlanders on this account, and then in Storm Shield defenses changing up to different hero types and using defenders. But for weapons, I'm a little upset about this because they came out with the Hemlock, and I love the Hemlock. It was great. I did screw up and make it obsidian, but it was still a great weapon. And then they came out with the Pain Train right after it, and the Pain Train is just a few percentage points better and to me cooler with that train sound. So right now I think for assault rifles, for kind of medium range, the Pain Train is the best one out there and absolutely love it. So I don't know. I'm holding on to the Hemlock. They were talking about making it so you could recycle weapons and get full materials back or a portion of materials back as far as the perk ups. So I'm holding off to see if that happens before I recycle it. But yeah, for right now, assault rifle, my favorite one is the Pain Train without a doubt. First, yeah, as I said, it's the best for damage, and I think the coolest one. I always have a double barrel shotgun. It doesn't matter whether it is the Dragoon or the Thunderbolt or even the Old Smoky. Basically, they are huge impact, and they clear out everything around me. Now, if you're playing a soldier, you really don't care, because you can do your shockwave, you can use your grenades. If you're doing a ninja, you can do the dragon slash. But if you are an outlander and a constructor, you don't have anything for kind of instantly stopping husk when you're getting swarmed by the husk. And the Thunderbolt is great. Have like 10 of those dwarf husks coming in at once. One shot, boom, they're gone. So love my double barrel, always have that. And then for the RPGs, I know everybody out there loves the Noble Launcher. I like it when I'm standing on flat ground, being able to shoot that just along the ground and taking out so many husks. You can even shoot it through your walls and terrain and stuff. And I'm going to re-put out a video that I had to take down on teleporters, and I'll show you how good it is with that. But in truth, I kind of love the bowler, because usually I sit up above what I'm attacking and shoot at an angle. And the bowler bouncing around just adds a huge chaos element to fighting the husk, which I absolutely love. And this thing really takes down mist monsters fast. I have 2 mist monster perks on it. My favorite launcher in the game is the quad launcher, but it was an event one that I can't get right now. If they ever come out with that, I'll definitely be doing some videos on it. And then I'll get asked why I have the Thunderbolt leveled up over the Dragoon at the moment. And that was because the impact on the Dragoon was not putting the Husky Husks on their backs with one single shot like it was earlier. So I need to level it up, re-perk it with max impact. But I wanted to go with Thunderbolt because it had the affliction damage. And while I do love the Pain Train, if I had to choose, I would actually still go back and use the Super Shredder with the headshot eliminations cause the explosion. I know when you do the statistics and the numbers and they do all the crunching, the other assault rifles come out doing much more damage than the Super Shredder. But that's because you can't take in that headshot explosion damage, where I can shoot one husk and I can kill 5 or 6 husks standing around it at a very long range. But I did want to try something different. I probably will end up at some point leveling up this Super Shredder and using it in combination, because when it comes to taking down smashers, that is where the Pain Train is just awesome. When you got something with a really high hit point count, yeah, the Pain Train just mows them down. So there you go for main weapons. The Ghost Pistol, I really can't recommend that too much. I do love the Coco 45. Not the greatest pistol out there, but having that marshmallow bouncing around my trap tunnels actually ends up doing a lot of additional damage. And the fact that it pierces the husk. Unfortunately, it doesn't pierce the Riot Shield or the Shielder husk. And then the Wraith was really good, but yeah, that's been taken over by the Pain Train. Obliterator, if you have one, level it up, and I use it for my defenders, and I use it for taking down buildings. I never shoot husk with this myself. It's, as I said, just a tool for clearing out the area and for defenders. I do recommend the Deathstalker if you don't have some of the event rifles out there. This has the longest range of any assault rifle, and it has a scope on it. So it's very different than most assault rifles. So if you want to take out those lobbers way out there, and you're using a hero like Crackshot, who gets additional damage from assault rifles, this is basically your sniper rifle, the Deathstalker. And then also the Ginger Blaster. While they put a healing perk on the Candy Corn LMG, the weapon was kind of underwhelming altogether. Where the Ginger Blaster, you can get the healing perk, but this thing mainly for mist monsters, you can do some huge damage on it, and mainly if they're not elemental type. That's one bad, it's locked into physical. But yeah, if you're running something that specializes in pistol damage, Ginger Blaster is a great one to have. And looking through here, yeah, not much else really concerned about. Hopping over to melee weapons, as you know, I don't use them that much, except for they came out with the shovel. with double armor perks. That is huge. That has saved my life multiple times. And when I'm just running around and suddenly I'm getting attacked out of nowhere by a taker or a blaster, I'm much more likely to survive without too much issue. So the shovel's great to have. The lead sled is also an absolute great hardware weapon. And because I just love speed, I want a weapon, melee weapon, if I'm doing my ninja or something that specializes in edge damage. I usually just go with Stabworth III. But now they came out with the Tree of Light with this super, basically the largest DPS I think I could find of any of the swords. It was at 2.5. Actually, is it the largest of any of these? Oh, those are leveled up. Yeah. So the Tree of Light is just putting out some huge DPS. If you put weapon speed on it as one of the perks, I definitely think this is one of the top swords out there. So, yep, if you love your ninja, you want to play your dire wolf or something else, Tree of Light is a good way to go. Now, most people know I'm a trap specialist. That is my number one thing in the game. So I actually put like my first epic perk ups and legendary perk ups not on my weapons. I put them first on my gas trap and the 2 launchers, because that is what gets me through missions and storm shield defenses. These things I load up, and yeah, it definitely pays off in the long run. And I can, at any moment in a mission, things are looking bad, I will really quick put up a ceiling tile with the gas trap, and it will just clear out all the husks coming in at me. And I got a nice little safe zone for me to be able to reestablish what I'm doing and start doing weapon damage. But the launchers, I do not recommend this launcher build for other people. I am doing this because I wanted to do something different. Basically, you launch the husks so high up in the air. First of all, it takes them out of being able to attack you for quite a while. And then they take huge damage when they come down. But you have to get the launcher up quite a bit for this to be done. In truth, I would go 3 impacts and 2 reload speed to recommend to others, like I have on my wall launchers. And these definitely do the job. No issue. And then after leveling up these 3, then I go on to other ones. I've been trying to use other gadgets, getting rid of adrenaline rush, so I need a healing pad. My 1 damage trap, because it does the same damage to all elemental types, I go with retractable floor spikes. And then dynamo. I love the wall dynamo for its huge impact and huge damage, but as you see, I haven't even reperked it yet. And then whatever level wooden floor spikes I have materials for. I was using just 1 star, but I went up to 2 star just because I ran out of 1 star twine. And you can use whatever you want, and if you have unlimited schematic XP, then yeah, and unlimited materials, then yeah, you would go legendary and level it up as high as you want. I just do it this way because I have other things I want to spend my schematic XP on, and so that's how I do it. And plus, I end up using up a lot of materials with my wall launchers as far as planks, and having these at a lower rarity means it uses less planks. And then after those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 main traps, I did level up wall darts because they can shoot from behind 45s, and I use 45s quite a bit with my floor launchers, so why not put a wall dart behind it just to put out a little bit more damage. But that's it for schematics. Hopping over to heroes, the main ones I'm using on this account, and actually I'll start with Outlanders because that's mainly what I've been using on this account. And I gotta tell you, once you start using Outlanders, they are amazing. First of all, they can gather faster with that anti-material charge, and they do more pick damage. Second, they can get around so fast using the phase shift. Now, the phase shift, anti-material charge, and even the Teddy aren't on all Outlanders. They have different combinations. But yeah, phase shift, The second I see a blaster starting to shoot at me, you can do two things. You can try to shoot it and stun it, or you can go in the opposite direction of the blaster, phase shift one time, maybe two times, and then you're out of range, so they can't even touch you. And then you can throw down your teddy or take them out with your weapon. And that's the other thing. I love being able to do two things at once. So, like, I will come into an area that I want to gather, or I want to build a radar tower, or I want to start putting down my trap tunnels, and there's Husk there. I don't bother fighting the Husk. I throw down my teddy, and I go get to business, setting up my builds and other things. So, yeah, right now, Enforcer Grizzly is my main one, due to one of the main reasons is they greatly extended the range of the teddy on the Enforcer Grizzly out to 8 tiles, which your spawn point is 7 to 8 tiles from your objective. So that means when everything spawns, the second it spawns, my teddy at the objective can start taking those out. Also, the lobbers who hang in the back, doesn't matter. My teddy can still reach them. So, really been enjoying that. Field Agent Rio, an event hero. For some reason, the description, it says, uses phase shift to maneuver around and blast away enemies. She does great with a pistol. She has great boost towards phase shift. But she also has 2 great perks on her teddy, making her a very viable Outlander to play in the game. Dusk, I really didn't like. I only leveled her up to 3-star, really to get the energy bonus on her. Sometimes when I'm using a different hero that has an energy weapon or elemental weapon, then I will use this in my support squad bonus. And the Reclaimer Outlander has the same bonus. Ragnarok is a fun one. I'm not sure if I'd say he's as top tier as the Enforcer and the Rio, but he is great fun. It is something totally different with his seismic impact, and so he can be something different, something to enjoy in the game. And then, and I need to make her legendary, the Ranger Outlander. You get insane weapon damage, putting out more pistol damage than any other hero in the game. And then on top of that, you still can do your phase shift to move around the battlefield quicker. And you can even throw down your teddy to give you more damage power. Her teddy isn't all that good, but every little bit helps. And the other thing is, and most people don't realize it, the teddy is indestructible. So if you got a blaster blasting at you, you got a smasher charging at you, you can throw down your teddy as a wall to stop them. And that stops a smasher in dead charge. So I use teddy not only to do damage, but as a wall for me to hide behind to take out things. So, and then the rest of them, good Outlanders, but these are the main ones I'm using. The Reclaimer one. Do I even have a Reclaimer? I don't think I have one. Actually, with the current event, I should have one on this. Nope. All right. The Reclaimer is really good and actually does more DPS than any of the other Rangers because it gets bonuses to the Teddy and the Shock Tower. But you lose phase shift. And I just can't stand losing phase shift. I love it too much. It just adds a fun element and a much more survivability element. Also, the Shock Tower is for taking out a group of Husks in a very small area for a very limited amount of time. And that's what I got a double barrel shotgun for. It works great on that. So that is it for Outlanders. We'll hop back here to Soldiers. A Crack Shot, I got him leveled up the highest. He is not the best hero or soldier out there. He's better than average. He doesn't specialize in anything really. He just has one perk towards everything, kind of. So with his 3 abilities, Shockwave, Grenade, and Gatling Gun, none of those have any perks to them. They're base level. He does have, although something unique in increased ammo by 45. So he's one of the most best defensive heroes in the game with really good survivability. He also gets increased assault weapon damage, which does kind of add up when you are doing increased reload speed, reduced recoil, and debilitating shots. All those as single perks, but all adding up to more weapon damage. For me, the number one soldier in the game is MGR with her grenades and just spamming those, and then doing a little bit of bonus for weapon damage. And she is great. And then everybody seems to agree, Urban Assault, when you are focused on weapon damage, she's probably the best one out there without question. I don't think that's an issue. And then on top of that, gets grenades with Keep Out, which do a ton of extra damage. And when you team that up with, do I have her here? There are bonuses for your grenades, actually multiple bonuses for them. And I'm looking for Special Forces will increase the impact to them. And there is an agent that will give you the cluster bombs on your grenades, which makes the urban assault grenades almost good as MGRs. So, and then for other soldiers, the Raider, who specializes in shotgun. There are some amazing shotguns in the game right now. So yeah, I love playing the Raider with the shotgun weapon damage. And she also, every time she reloads her weapon, she gets a 30% increase to speed, which, once again, just getting around the battlefield faster, and then Warcry to help out even more. But that is about it for me with the soldiers. Yep. And then, as I said, this account, I kind of stayed away from constructors. That's what I did on the other account. Favorite constructor in the game for me is Heavy Base, which is an event constructor. And then the Machinist, who is great at small area effect for her base, but her base makes the traps absolutely outstanding. So you put her base over a trap tunnel, and yeah, it's just doing maximum damage. On this account, I did level up Earhart just to test her out, and I want that Rosie turret gun to be great, but it has issues. You know, if you throw it down and you shoot everything you're supposed to shoot and you still got half your ammo, you have to sit there and use up that ammo before you could take off and place it down somewhere else. So there is issues with that. They did fix a few bugs with her. Sid is awesome. Steel Wolf Sid with all his bonuses for hardware, melee weapons, and specifically for hammer. So yeah, with the lead sled hammer, he's insane damage. But I also use the shovel. Even though it's not a hammer, I'm still getting the majority of his bonuses, plus all that defensive bonus with the 2 armor perks. And the big thing about him, you really don't care how much damage your weapon is doing with a constructor, because the constructor, he does his main weapon damage with kinetic overload, and this is almost always at least double the amount of damage your weapon is doing. And here it's at 15,500 energy damage every time you crit with your weapon. So you want to get the weapon speed up, and you want to get the crit rating speed up, and not worry about the damage of the weapon, and get the kinetic overload going. And then he gets a bunch of perks for increasing the hardware attack speed 24%, increasing crit rating by 18, and then let's see, the big one is down here. Kinetic overdrive. When the kinetic overload is triggered, it affects targets within a half tile radius of the primary target. And when you have that, you just start basically blowing up every husk around you. So, and then increased damage and kinetic overload by 110%. So yeah, Sid is awesome. You get him in the storyline for Canny Valley, and so definitely pick him up. Over on ninjas, we have the one I have leveled up, Shuriken Master Lumerai, normally Sarah, gives a bonus of 20% once you get it to 3 stars to your primary hero's ability damage which for me is the Teddy and the turret. And it says to do ability damage, but it's actually ability and gadget damage. So it increases your heal. It increases basically everything out there except for weapon damage. So I love using that. And he is really good with throwing stars. Few people really enjoy using them, but not too much. To me, the main ninja in the game from day one to now is still kind of Dragon Scorch. He does a huge area effect with his Dragon Slash. And it's just an insane amount of damage for clearing out an area. Absolutely love it. But if you want to do more damage to a single target, like a Smasher or an epic mini-boss, actually Harvester is the way to go. And then, of course, Dire. Dire is just an amazingly fun ninja that they actually made it where it's doing really good damage. So for me right now in the game, these are the only 3 really top tier ninjas. The Dragon Scorch, the Harvester, and Werewolf. And then Shuriken Master, I just level up to support. Like him, main damage is from Dragon Slash. Add 20% onto that Dragon Slash as far as damage with the Shuriken Master. All right, we're done with heroes. All right, survivors, and that's one. I should have said this at the very beginning. My last account, I did all the way to Twine Peaks number 10 without ever spending a dime on. It was a friend's code to start it, and I never spent a penny on it. This account, I spent a lot of money on. I got all the upgrades, and I've done some V-Buck purchases to get more llamas. And in truth, I enjoyed it much more playing with a no-cash account. That was much more enjoyable to me. But now that they put the level cap on where you have to be a certain level to get into missions, it makes it so you almost have to be getting more llamas, to be getting your survivor squads up to get to the level needed to enter that mission. I think in truth that's probably good to keep basically leechers and AFKers out of the higher level missions. But for people like me, and I know there's very few of us who enjoys going into missions and soloing them 20 levels underneath the mission, it is an issue. But on this account, I have quite a few mythics, and I just got into issue where, as you can see right now, all my leads are mythics except for one. I got one left to go, and that's why I've kept this one. I've had her maxed out, and I had to I replaced her with another one so that I could get as many mythics as possible. And I haven't recycled her yet because depending on what I get for this one, I may have to reshuffle these all again, and I may end up using her. So right now I'm down a little bit in level from that. Once I get that final mythic, then I'll be shooting up in a heartbeat. Yeah, and all these mythics on my first account, I finished the entire game and did not have one mythic lead survivor. And this is just kind of the power creep or whatever of the game. Them giving us means to get more of them, just so we will buy more llamas. But nope. So survivors there, and then finally everybody's favorite, defenders. On this, as you can see, I just care about the snipers, and because pretty much any other husk, when you're going to be firing at a distance where you're going to have issues with the range attackers targeting them before they can fire on the husk, getting stuck in the death clouds, the brown death clouds, or swarms of bees, things like that. First of all, if you have the Obliterator sniper rifle, you can put these in a box and they can't even be attacked. Same thing with the Neon sniper rifle. But even when I don't use that rifle, I just use a standard sniper rifle, I want something to be as far away from the husk as I possibly can have them, So basically, they're my backup. When whatever barely makes it through my trap tunnels, they're the ones who get to clear it out. Also, if my trap tunnel suddenly gets blown up, then my defenders can basically cover for me while I go and rebuild. But yeah, besides the snipers, these I got all 3-star. As many as I need 3-star. We'll change this on out for a legendary pretty soon. But all the other ones really haven't focused too much on. So there we go. That's what we got as far as schematics and things like that. As far as resources, I get a lot of questions about how I have so many perk ups and perk ups and even reperks. First of all, every time before I even load into the game, I come over to Storm Shield 1, which I love except for this ad here, which is really annoying, and I just look to see, okay, in Canny Valley, there's 152 epic perk ups, and in Twine Peaks, there's 76 and 160 legendary. So then I just look through the missions to see what I want to do. And these are the mega missions. Right now, mega missions isn't dropping any. Fine. But I keep scrolling down. We do have a retrieve the data. Kind of easy to do. I could try soloing that. Or for the exact same number of perk ups, I can go into rescue the survivors. And I can run that with a group or solo it easily and pick up 80 legendary perk ups. And the same thing over here, over in Canny Valley, there's a level 58 mission with 76 epic perk ups. And one thing to remember with this, like here, we have a level 58 mission for 76 perk ups for destroy the encampments. And over here you have a level 100 mission also giving 76 perk ups. Well, it's the exact same reward as far as perk ups. And there is a difference of 42 levels in the mission. Well, I can get through this a lot faster. I'll probably finish this in under 10 minutes. So I can do this, and then if I want to, I can go do the other one. The other thing with the missions, I'm starting to get more and more reperks. And while other people in the game are running around trying to farm different materials, different rare items, the only thing I'm farming is the mist monsters, because I want to get this eliminate 50 mist monsters for 100 reperks as often as possible. So every mission I am in, I am out farming mist monsters. Also, mist monsters, when you kill them, give really good little rewards, including Shadow Shard and herbs. So I'm doing that all the time. So focusing on mist monsters, getting my reperks so I can change up my traps and weapons the way I need them to. The other thing I get constantly asked, how do you have so many resources as far as trap materials and weapon materials? You go over to heroes, you go to expeditions, and the only one I do anymore is I go to the trucks, and then I look for the red toolboxes as high as level as possible. And here is actually a really good one. It's 20 hours, 460. I will be getting a ton of materials for this. You can change the vehicle out to the higher vehicle. It's 460 with no special ones. Click on it, hit sort, and now we can put these guys to good use. Not going to be using those today. And let's see. Alright, so I got a 96% chance. With heroes, I have no plans on using in the next 24 hours. Using very little research points and a few people, which I almost always have maxed out, because I'm always doing rescue the survivors for perk ups. And we'll go ahead and get that started. And come back in 20 hours, and I got my herbs. And let's see, I usually don't bother doing the 8-hour ones anymore. I've gotten high enough level. I just come back in another hour or two and see if there's another one that's 16 hours or longer, and then I'll grab that one as well. All right, so that's where I'm at in my account right now. As I said, first of all, you don't have to spend any money on this game whatsoever besides the initial purchase of it, and you can still do really good. I have put some money into this account, and I've had a blast changing over from Constructor to Outlander. Look forward in the future. I probably will be doing a 4th account. I am waiting for the new hero system to come out, and when I see how much of a change it is, I'll determine if I do a new account at that point or not. I don't think somebody, like, if I just had my initial first account, I wouldn't be able to tell you about how it's different to level up now, how it's different as far as with finding reperks and perk ups, going through Stonewood and Plankerton, because I never did that on my first account. That stuff didn't exist when I was on my first account. So I like starting new accounts when there's new information out there, so I can keep giving you guys good information. So let me have your questions and your thoughts. If you get a chance, stop on over to Reddit and let Konar know how you feel about her artwork. And I look forward to showing off some more of that artwork in the future. So, all right, take care and have an amazing day.